What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. You think you've got my number figured out? A motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. I wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
Guys, I'm back doing drama streams. You know, chat, I'm so fucking tired, you have no idea. Okay, so where was Diesel? Let's talk about that before I get into this. But I will get into this because we got a lot to talk about. All right? Okay. Hello, guys. What's happening? God damn, I'm fucking tired, dude. So I got a job, chat. I got a job. So some of you might know that I used to be a film teacher. So I went back to doing it. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm teaching like an after-school program on how to make movies and stuff like that. Basics of film, all that stuff to teenagers, so like 14 to 19. So I'm doing that. And finally, you can pay for that melon. And yeah, I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's really, really tiring. I will say that. Hold on, I forgot to pin my link. There we go. You need it, to be honest. It sounds enriching. It's good. I enjoy it, but it burns a lot of energy. It burns a lot of energy. So this past week I've been like readjusting to being in the working world. And also I feel like if I was a streamer or a YouTuber who just did YouTube, I was feeling like at some point I was gonna go crazy, right? And so I needed to figure out something, right? So I ended up doing that. But anyway, with that being said, that's where I've been. I took like a day off this last week, but then I just, it just ended up getting away from me. Because I forgot how much like work it is to like talk to people. Which, by the way, I said that a day off, 2 weeks. This last adjusting to work was really difficult. I am not gonna lie. Right? It was. Cat, you're funny. Fuck. But yeah, I'm definitely. It's a burnout. You need a refresher. Yeah, I'm definitely like running on empty. I can admit that. I'm definitely running on empty, and I like exacerbated it. And I know that like I enjoy the job, but I definitely made it worse by going and getting a job, and then like trying to do a bunch of other things on top of that. Made it like a billion times worse. So yeah. And I know, I just got a message about the watermelon. I know. But we're here to talk about drama today, not about watermelons, not about me either. I'm not the subject of today's stream. Why did Quartering bail him out of jail? I'll actually read those tweets why he bailed him out of jail. So, if you beg nicely, I'm sure Adami Mommy will fill that emptiness. I need to just not read chat. Wild chat message. Right? Wild. Diesel, you have to answer the allegations about you not liking Keanu Reeves. Okay, other follow-up, right? I said that Keanu Reeves lacks range as an actor, and Xylian Company decided to say that it was actually that I think that he's a bad actor, which is not true. Having a lack of range is different than being a bad actor. You can still be a good actor in a certain role if you lack range. This is a lie, chat. Beckett, you are literally just signing up for it, okay? He doesn't need range. He's perfect where he is. These will never lie. Beckett is lying. He's English. Okay? He's literally lying because he's English. He's not as bad as Johnny Depp. Yeah, Johnny Depp also lacks range, but then Johnny Depp is also an amazing Jack Sparrow and nothing else. Actually, he did good as Hunter S. Thompson. I've liked Johnny Depp in some things. He was good as Ed Wood. That was another one where he was good. No, Johnny Depp has more range. Johnny Depp has more range. That's him? No fucking way. All right. So, Styx Hexenhammer. Let's talk about the guy, the man of the hour. Styx Hexenhammer 666 is a political YouTuber. And with theming like that, I think we should all know what his politics are, right? So Styx is kind of like, if I had to place Styx anywhere, I'd say he's probably like a right-leaning libertarian. And also, he's definitely a libertarian in the sense that, like, I don't know what it is with libertarians and, like, the Satanism thing, right? Or libertarians and, like, the ugliest fit you can possibly imagine, right? Okay? But Styx basically covers politics in the vein of, like, a talk-to-camera guy. He ended up coming to fame from what I remember around the Gamergate days. So he's one of those guys who came up around then. And Styx came up, you know, he basically got involved in the culture war. All the thumbnails are the same. Yeah, because he sat down for 8 hours and just blathered all these videos out in a day, okay? Right? But that's what Styx does. He does very short, like, here's what's happening, my political blah, 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 right? There is a lot of extra lore about him. He's kind of cuckoo bananas. For example, Sakura in the chat says he thinks he has a Faustian contract with an actual demon. So I have a theory, chat. Speaking of, I knew somebody was going to bring up the Faustian contract, right? But here's my theory, okay? Greg, when you edit this, put the Vsauce Michael music here, okay? Here's why I think that Styx broke his contract. All right? I think that after Styx got a little too far into the politics, that the demon he made a Faustian bargain with didn't like it. Okay? He needed to dress as a goth, and he started wearing Hawaiian shirts and moving to Louisiana. Louisiana, as we know, is a famous Christian city, right? And the demon didn't like that. So when he moved to New Orleans, which is also the hotbed of demon power, the demon decided to strike back against Styx, and it told him to hit his partner. So after that happened, Styx went to jail. And so the deal with the demon was broken. Right? So that's Styx, unfortunately, yeah, that's what we're talking about today, is domestic violence. Can we get some bogs in the chat? We got a domestic violence drama to talk about. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Styx lore that I'm not covering here. For the basic Andy who's just coming across Styx, he is just a political tuber that does right-leaning content, right? That's really it. He hangs out with the Quartering and Melanie Mac, but yeah, he's got some wacky views. Yeah, I think the Faustian bargain takes the cake. There's a few others. Um, I think Styx said he had sex with a succubus, not like in a ironic sense or like a metaphysical sense, like an actual succubi from the plains of hell came and rocked his cock. Like that is something I distinctly remember reading about him recently. Um, and it's this is what Styx used to look like, by the way. He honestly looks kind of good in that. He looks kind of good in that, right? What do we all think about this chat? Do we fucks with this? I feel like we kind of fucks with that. Is that Razor Fist? No. I know he looks like Razor Fist, but he's not Razor Fist. Yeah, that was before he became an extremist. Dude, I don't know how you can be as punk rock as this motherfucker and then you end up becoming like a right-wing shill, right? I mean, I guess it's kind of like Tim Pool, right? Where he was like a Bernie bro who like left the left or whatever. Chat, all Diesel does is eat hot chip, lie, and be bi. Bro, it's not even just this chat that wants me to be bisexual, okay? Like, yeah, crazy that people think that's Razor Fist. People have been saying that for years. Beckett, did you fucking bunk me again? You did not fucking bunk me. Is that Razor Fist? Why does Diesel need bail money? What did this gooner do now? That's Razor Fist. Okay, so I believe I've been punked by Beckett. Live on air. Beckett, answer me now. Answer chat. Am I being punked right now? Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh my god, you piece of shit. I've waited like 2 years to resurrect this meme. This asshole. This little asshole. He must think he's so funny, huh? Oh my god, dude. So let's walk through the how this happened, right? Not this image, not me fucking up, okay? What happened? So I was getting caught up on this to figure out what was going on, right? So I was watching Legal Mindset. So Styx moves to New Orleans. Big change in his life. There's also a rumor that Styx has a bit of a, problem. He's kind of, yeah. Fuck you, Beckett. Fuck you, dude. This fucking
I'm
guy.
crying.
This fucking guy was thinking so funny that he got me with this. This is like a guy who got me with like a D's nuts joke or something. Don't let the British guy win. He already won.
Don't let the British guy win.
So okay. So what Mario character is Asmongold? Styx is like the negative version of that. Okay. Bro, you got the live subs on the screen. Yeah, it's a plugin. I have a plugin for YouTube so I can see all that shit. Waluigi, yeah. So Styx with his habit moves to New Orleans, a city famous for its drinking culture. And he talks about how it's great down there.
All right, everyone, service resumes. I am in New Orleans, actually, right now, and it's pretty great. This place that I'm at right now, it's not like, you have a hotel room generally.
Dude,
and
I think it's really funny that it's... Was this around when the Trump assassination happened? I can't remember. I already forgot. Was I not supposed to forget that?
You got a room, you got like your bed and like maybe a dresser and shit, like a lamp, and then you've got a bathroom. This is 4 rooms.
Okay, I don't want to be that guy, and I understand that the content I put out on the second channel is like doo-doo ass garbage, but you cannot honestly tell me that people sit down and watch 20,000 people sat down and watched this guy yap about his new experience in New Orleans. This guy makes a living off of this, guys. Okay, I just want to say that. All right, now does this tell me how much money the video would have made? I don't think it does. He would have made an okay amount of money, right? If this is like summertime ad rev, he would have made an okay amount of money.
Actually, it's almost palatial by my standards. It's pretty fancy, so yeah, it's gonna be fun. Went on the Natchez actually last night. They've got this
Does he
giant.
talk about anything else besides what he's doing in his life?
He seemed like a cool dude, probably in his 20s, and he had long hair, all black clothes, so he sort of looks like this kind of person that would tend to watch my content. He seemed like a cool rocker dude or something like that.
I don't want to be that guy, but I don't think cool rocker people watch him, right? Not to be the guy, not to gatekeep punk or gatekeep rock, okay? Not to gatekeep metal or any of that shit, okay? But I don't think people who are like fucking rocking out to like music like that listen to this fucking guy.
So far though, the smell going through New Orleans is pretty great because there's like 10,000 million restaurants and they all have different kinds of food like fucking fried chicken and Creole food, Cajun food and stuff like that. And yeah, it's pretty great.
I'm
Wandered
still
through the
so
French-
tired from helping run a giant event Saturday that I thought that was critical. You're watching lol.
Evil critical beats his partner.
quarter a little bit and thought that was pretty scenic actually. It looks pretty nice. I will say there are 2 things that I've noticed about New Orleans that are a little bit off-putting. Number one,
It's
the
the anti-Charlie.
goddamn road
It's an
situation.
anti-Charlie. So he literally is just yapping about his experience moving to
So
New
during the
Orleans in
trip-
this video.
Down here, for some reason, on both legs of the journey, they claimed, well, there's significant turbulence, and they veered off course actually slightly. Barely made the connection in Atlanta because of this, because it was like 30 minutes delayed.
Oh my god, dude, this is killing me how bad this fucking video is, bro. Yeah, I'm in New Orleans and it's pretty great. Recent comments. Update, it's not going great. Will this age like milk? Yeah, so he moves to New Orleans, posts this on the 27th, and then the quartering on October 2nd ended up posting these series of tweets, right? Oh, damn, you're watching Nega
Evil of Ellen
Critical.
celebrates 16
I didn't want
months
to
of
say that
membership.
incorrectly. I
Oh
didn't
damn,
wanna-
you're watching Nega Critical? Oh dear.
I know, we've all seen Princess and the Frog, bro. You can quit your yapping. Yeah, it was dawn of the first day, right? And then all of a sudden, I have like a commentary thing, so I get like tweets of people who cover commentary adjacent things, and I saw Quartering tweet about this. Says, we know the rate at which men get arrested in mutual domestic disturbances and how often stories are fabricated by women, in some cases to get the man arrested, and also police bias. Domestic violence is real and it goes both ways. It's often complicated and best to wait for facts. I'm not saying there isn't real trash out there, real garbage wife beaters, but I've also seen good men catch domestic battery charges for like slamming a refrigerator door or punching a wall. Okay, ladies, if your husband is punching a wall, that is probably a red flag. I don't know. That's just me. I think men should be able to control themselves and not cause property damage. Shocker. There's a million ways you can get that charge, and cops almost always blame the man. this guy isn't even in the hot seat, and somehow quartering not only 1 makes it about him, and then 2 makes it sound like he did something. Oh my god. I was told 3 hours ago he will get out today, but then I heard nothing more, and now they are closed, of course. They took my money instantly, though. Right? So I was like, oh, what's going on? What's going on with this? Huh? Right? And don't get me wrong, I have definitely seen it where, like, I know someone personally in my family, like a man who was not the abuser in the situation, and he was charged and was brought to jail, and he had to go through this whole rigmarole through the family court system, and then they just ended up dropping it like 3 months in because the police officer just didn't show up to the hearing, so they just had to drop it, right? So I've seen it. I know that it goes both ways, right? But it's Jeremy, so even if Jeremy is right, I can't help but feel that he is wrong because he's Jeremy, right? So what was this about? Well, you see, there was some information released that Mr. Stixhammer was put into jail in New Orleans. He went to New Orleans Parish Prison. Let me find that for you guys. So on the 30th of September, Stix was arrested, okay? And this is Stix's real name. This is public, right? So Tarl E. Warwick, the defendant with his case number, charged detail information. He was arrested on the 30th, right? Now, you can also see like stuff like the charges and all that on here, right? So we'll pull that up too, because the sheriff's office posted it. It's in the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office. Warwick Tarl, race white, sex male, blah, 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 right? And so then it says the charge, the code of it, and it says the charge text, domestic abuse battery. And he was held for bail at $7,000, I believe. So when he was held for bail that evening, Jeremy was live. Yes, the quartering was live when he found out that his friends, of which they are friends,
classic.
Take my adult money from my adult job.
Thank you, Philosopher, for the 10. I will take your adult money from your adult job. So quartering was live on Rumble, and he heard about this. And so during his stream, he started asking people to donate, not to some fund, but to him, to buy members to the quartering, because he will turn around and give those members to the bail bond, okay, to get him out on bond. So Jeremy was asking people to give him donos so he could bail out his friend, and they are friends. Him and Stix are friends. I don't know why he's trying to pretend like that isn't the case now. And I should also mention, the quartering is not a broke guy. He's always made really good money. I don't know why that's the case, right? So he runs like Coffee Brand Coffee. And of course, Coffee Brand Coffee does very well. I don't like it. Obviously, Mana Potion Coffee is separate from FPS Diesel, and Diesel's opinions do not represent the company's. But in my opinion, as a coffee connoisseur, this coffee is excruciatingly expensive, overpriced, completely, like, it does this thing where it's pretending to not be political, but it is political, right? And so it annoys me that he's like, oh, well, you know, hey, guys, donate money to me. That's
Sparkles,
definitely an AI woman.
hey guys, come to jail with me. Heart, Sparkles.
Well, here's the thing. He says that his coffee's not political, right? That's even in the about section. But everybody I have ever seen who has advertised with coffee brand coffee is political. Okay? Hey, Diesel IRL, what are your thoughts on this other YouTuber? FPS Diesel. I think he's aight. Yeah, that guy's pretty okay. Right? Every time you see a company and they brand their shit as, oh, we're not political, right? It's like, no tweets about Men's Day, no tweets about International Women's Day. We may celebrate International Cat Day, just tweets about our coffee and how nearly 20 new flavors are developing, about our upcoming tea line and even hot cocoa, right? So if you flavor coffee, by the way, with artificial flavors, this shit sucks. Sorry. My opinion. I do not represent the company Mana Potion Coffee. My opinions are my own. Okay, separate. But anytime you see a company do this thing where they're like, we're not political, they're political. That's the whole thing. Unrelated. And of course, you can always buy coffee brand coffee if you feel that's the right purchase for you as a consumer. You're allowed to do that. I'm legally required to specify these things. I'm not legally required to say that, but I think I can say that I'm legally required to say that. But anyway, unrelated to that, I also sell coffee at ManaPotionCoffee.com. If you're a nerd and you like coffee, you should buy it. We have tea now, by the way, guys, just FYI. Yes, we do. We brought tea. Okay, I'm also technically not supposed to say that. We have tea. There we go. But we got 4 teas, okay? Blood orange rooibos tea, jasmine green tea, peach Earl Grey tea. That's right, guys. This entire stream was just an ad. So, the Quartering heard about this and started asking his fans for donos to bail a guy out, right?
The
We're not
Weaver of
yeah.
Dreams celebrates
Yeah,
12
yeah.
months of membership. We're not political is I'm not racist.
If you
but
okay, when we were doing the branding for Mana Potion Coffee, I said like I don't want to be like overtly political. I don't really want to do that. I think that'd be cringe. I think it's really easy to tell where our values are, but we didn't want to say that we're like not political, right? Like we're not selling to people who are tired of politics in our food. We are selling to people who like coffee and Dungeons and Dragons. That's it, right? And that was the entire like branding pitch. Anyway, Quartering did raise that money for Tarn, whatever the fuck. Is that the succubus stick slept with? So, boom. Bond was received, and on the 1st of October, there would be another court hearing. So, the bond was received, and yes, it was Jeremy Hambly who sent the bond in, a cash bond of, I believe, $7,000. I could be wrong about that. But Jeremy paid for it, and Tarn was out. Now, he was out, but there was some stipulations with his release. Obviously, when you have a bail bond, you have to show up to your court hearings. If you don't show up to your court hearing, you're going to be in fucking trouble. That's a problem, right? And of course, the court took Jeremy's money the second it happened. I don't know why Jeremy is wording it in a way where it was like malicious, where it's like, I was told 3 hours ago he'll get out today, but then I heard nothing more, and now they've closed off, of course. They took my money instantly, though. Yeah, I mean, like, what the fuck? Do you expect them to move instantly? It's like a civil service. It moves slow, right? Why does nearly every YouTuber I know of sell coffee? So, actually, I can answer that. So, it's 2 things. So,
Ambedo Moonbug celebrates 5 months of membership. Oh, use
the D10 only
at
works on the
checkout.
coffee, by the way.
The coffee very good.
So what happens is with a lot of YouTubers, you want to give me an example, Cam, of like a YouTuber you know that sells coffee? Because I think it's easier if I have an example. But other than that, I'll keep going through with this. But I will answer that. Laura Lodge. Okay. I'll look him up. It is easy to find a supplier. No, it's not. That's not easy, right? Because that's not the kind of business they do. Let's see. Unless it was a sponsor. I don't know his coffee. Yeah, it could be like it might be a sponsor, right? Because there are some coffee companies that sponsor YouTubers. Like Bones Coffee, for example. I've seen sponsor YouTubers, Coffee Brand Coffee. Read all your mana potion disclaimers on stream since you refuse to do them on stream, boss. It's his coffee. He like crafted the beans or something. I'll click on his video. Let's see. There's a Manscaped thing here. These guys probably produce their own coffee, looking at their website. Little British. I heard you got punked. Little British Cigarette told me. Is that what we're calling him now? We're calling him Little British Cigarette? Okay. So here's how, there's a few ways, right? Roasting coffee is actually like a lifetime skill that it takes a long time to learn, right? This definitely seems like it's actually made by these people, right? And it's made, you know, in Kentucky, right? Don't look into the Lore Lodge history with politics of Penn State. Diesel, what do they call cigarettes in Britain? I've just realized what he meant. Okay, I'm tired. So what happens in like YouTuber coffee is like you're a guy who like, I want to do a YouTuber coffee. And you go to a business and you say, let's do a sponsored coffee. And they say yes or no. That's what Peter McKinnon's done. Because Peter McKinnon doesn't know coffee. He doesn't know anything about coffee, right? But this guy seems to either, one, work really closely with a roaster, or two, roast it himself. Roasting coffee is like a full-time thing, by the way, right? Like I just literally wouldn't have time to do it. But we have a roaster that we work with personally, and we like the Jacksepticeye. So Jacksepticeye doesn't literally roast his coffee. He has like people that roast his coffee that handle that stuff. Like he's somebody who likes coffee and he's an aficionado of it, but he's not somebody that's like roasting his own beans himself, right? But I assume, right, based off of the way I've seen Top of the Morning like structured, that it's a much more bespoke business, right? Now, let me tell you how I think, in my opinion, Coffee Brand Coffee works. He said he worked close with them and chose the blends and stuff. Sounds similar to yours now that I think about it, what he said in the pitches. Then it's probably like that, right? Because that's like the more, in my opinion, that's the more ethical way to do it. Like if you give a shit about coffee and you want people to drink good coffee, you're going to, one, understand coffee, and two, work really closely to figure it out. Okay? Right? I'm sorry. Every fucking time I cover Jeremy, I bitch about his coffee. You can tell that I'm actually really fucking passionate about this. So here's how Coffee Brand Coffee works. And you can tell based on their about, right? And the fact that he's able to move so much volume, right? So let's see. Where is it? Enter Coffee Brand Coffee, built by creating direct trade partnerships with many coffee producers that use sustainable coffee growing standards. These producers are connected with soil preservation, clean water practices, and maintaining a quality standard of living for their workers. That's new. I don't think that was there last time. I don't think it was really that much. I don't think he said that. This is a new sentence. This one right here, that's a new sentence. Is it single origin? My coffee is. We're gonna have our first blend soon. Really, really soon. But So like so what Jeremy is doing is he goes to a producer of coffee, and I don't think it's him going to producers of coffee. You'd go to a producer of coffee and you'll say, "I'll buy the beans for this much and this much." Right? So you could when you cut out the middleman through this, you get the beans for cheaper, right? And when you do that, you can sell the coffee for cheaper, right? But when you're also doing this, you're also saying, I'm trusting that you are ethical, right? I'm not going to outsource this to like a third party like the Fair Trade Organization or like the USDA Organic Certification Organization. I'm just going to hope, based off of what you've told me, that you maintain standards that I care about for my business, right? So ultimately they can, but they also can't, right? There's no like overarching body, right, for that. Yeah, it's a trust me, bro situation, right?
Address the animated succubus allegations.
That's Mishi's coffee, actually. So, and you can just tell because I purchased this coffee to understand, right? When you flavor coffee that has to be artificial, the cost is really expensive. So you get, I believe it's 12 ounces in our bags. Hold on, let me double check. I don't want to say something that's not true. Yeah, so it's 12 ounces. Most of these you'll get 12 ounces, right? Whole bean or whatever. Some of these it was less than 12. Diesel knowing his competition. No, so this was in the original build, like we were building up the business, and in a meeting I turned to my brother and I was like, I want to be cheaper than this. We need to be cheaper than this. Right. So we looked at this and we went, we can be cheaper than this. Easy. But we got a lot of stuff here that's like 20 bucks, 20 bucks, 20 bucks, right? The rate and turnaround with coffee, I think that's really expensive personally. I think for good coffee, you don't need to pay this much, especially for something like a medium roast. It's also important for you to know information about your coffee. Mana Potion isn't like you should know a lot about your coffee business. My goal is to make it simpler to get really good coffee, not to like overly complicate it, right? So you have the light, medium, dark, but like single origin, like knowing where the origin is can get really confusing, or the differences between that is like really fucking confusing for a lot of people. And like 99% of people don't know what that shit is anyway. I want Diesel to make a blend called The Wall. And that has on it a single red tie. But yeah, and then like the bags that he uses are like really expensive. Like you could compost our bags if you wanted to. Like they're not gonna leave anything behind. But yeah, that shit's like, it's really easy to do that. So like you not doing it is insane, in my opinion, because it's really easy and it's no skin off your back. Sometimes it's cheaper actually just to do that. Anyway, I've been complaining about that too much, right? So here, here's the court documents with Tarl, right? So this was the 10-1 court date case, right? So based off of the preliminary information found, and usually a lot of the time the courts will just do this regardless of information. So I'm willing to say that, right? Regardless of the information that's out there, they usually generally introduce a temporary protective order. So, you know, this is like this protective order is in place. You can't contact them until blah, blah, blah. It's up at this date, and usually the date where the protective order is lifted is usually where the date where the protective order is listed is like the same date that the court is. So they're like, okay, you're gonna have a protective order placed on you until the next court date, and there we'll reconvene and see if we're gonna keep this up or drop it, right? Why do you keep scrolling up? No. What, you want to see the I'll show Mishi's coffee. Not coffee, tea. But yeah, there's Mishi's tea. I have some of the stuff to do the photos with it, so we don't have pictures of the item yet. But yeah, so that's Mishi's tea. It's a chocolate infused black tea. But yeah. Do you get it all out of your system, chat? Yeah, I really like the lemonade girl. That's one of my favorites too. Okay. Anyway, so that's how a protective order is usually going to be. They're just going to keep it up until the next court date. Draft gifted 10 for that. He's wild, bro. Thanks for that, boss. Oil parents, yeah. Dude, okay. One of the funniest parts about like so they use my credentials as a YouTuber as like an example of why I can teach film. I thought it was funny because none of my students care at all that I'm a YouTuber. They could care less. I've never like they did not care at all. Or like I brought up Mr. Beast, and not a single one of them knew about his controversy. And these would be kids who were like plugged into the internet. And I just thought that was so fucking funny. Base students. Kids are wildly unimpressed these days. It's all about the TikToks nowadays, old man. I've noticed my audience skews a lot older now, which is fine by me. Oh, they spent a lot of time on TikTok. That's for sure. I've seen them on TikTok. Like they're scrolling on it in class, and it's very frustrating. I understand why teachers get frustrated about phones in the classroom because kids always be taking that shit out. Are they like preteens or something? Ages 14 to 19. So some of them are like grown adults and like are either in college or like doing college prep. Or some of them are like trying to look for work and they're using this. This is like a work learning program. So they get paid to be there. And we're teaching them how to work in the workplace too. Right? So this is like trying to make it so they can build up their resumes and also learn good workplace skills and workplace etiquette. Here in Calgary, they banned phones from schools completely. Yeah, there needs to be something, dude. Teacher Diesel dropping knowledge to these young whippersnappers. Dude, have you guys ever seen r/teachers? Dude, r/teachers is fucking wild. Dude, r/teachers constantly has teachers bitching and moaning about like how kids are like cooked these days. And I'm sorry, if you're the kind of teacher who's like hopping on Reddit to complain about your students, you're probably just a bad teacher. You know? Once we get through this story, we might look at those because I find those kind of funny. Anyway. The court issued a protective order on this matter. The court informed the defendant of the conditions of the order on this matter. Both the court and the defendant signed a protective order, and a copy was placed in the record. So, but I almost called him Scarlet. Scarlet's my new Two Mads ghost. But fuck Styx. I'm so fucking tired, chat. Styx, right, knows what happened, obviously, right? It is a domestic assault case, right? Domestic abuse. To be specific, at domestic abuse. Abuse battery. Okay, there we go. All right, what was next here? Okay, so I've been New Orleans. His court date. We'll get to the we'll get to that in a minute. All right. So the court went on to discuss our good friend Styx. What is the message? Donate my bail money about? I'm new here. Don't worry. It's all part of the bit. It's all part of the bit. So after the quartering asked his fans to donate money to him to get his friend out of jail, he made a few more tweets saying, New Orleans court system is a disaster. Styx bail was played at 3 p.m. today. I was told he can get out today, and then nobody answered the phone for the next 2 hours. They charged my card, though. I spoke with his family, and they'll be on the phone the moment they open tomorrow. People are allowed to have their opinions, but I'm withholding judgment. Domestic type situations are often very messy, and the man is usually not given the benefit of the doubt at all. I'm not going to talk about it anymore unless he's released, and then it's his story to tell. The court system shows the bond is paid. Maybe he'll get out today. I just want everyone to know that the last man that Quartering defended publicly on Twitter before this was Dr. Disrespect, who baby raged about himself admitting that he talked to a minor and then retracting it. Remember, the Quartering was like, Dr. Disrespect, big ups, Doc. I just want to say that this is the guy who's coming to bat for Styx, which, if anything, I think might be a red flag. Okay? I think I wouldn't want this guy talking about how I'm a great guy. I feel like this guy is a really bad judge of character. Okay? Here's another thing, right? I also understand that men aren't given the benefit of the doubt, and that is a problem, right? That's like a double standard, because there are times that there are people in this world that'll abuse their position like that, which will ultimately make it harder for genuine victims to speak out. And those people are really sick, and that's selfish and disgusting. But also, I must say this, fellas, let's say you have a friend and he goes to jail for domestic battery. Okay, let's say he is charged, booked, goes away to prison, right? Usually, like, the content of character thing here is like, as a man, you should probably drop that guy, right? Like, if you go, like, Quartering, talk to Styx, like, talk to him, have like a, listen, man, what happened in there? You two talk, and he's like, and man, I just punched my wife in the face, right? You probably should drop him. I find guys that don't drop their friends who beat their wives to probably also be bad people. You know what I mean? And I don't know why, like, guys will just be like, well, it's his life, I don't want to get involved. And it's like, I get that, but like, bro, like, I wouldn't want to bring my kids around you if I know that you're gonna beat someone who's not gonna fight back. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't want to teach my kids that that's okay, right? I don't want to see the police report before I talk to them again. I'm late. Who went to jail? Styx. But I will go on to show some of the evidence that was released, right? He said that he's out. And I'll read Styx's tweets. Okay, long story short, I was absent due to being in jail in New Orleans for a week due to stupidity. Met a really cool murderer and a dude from drug dealing. Plenty of chill criminals, more chuckleheads than in the general population. I really like the idea of, like, somebody going to jail and their response is like, all the people that are in jail ain't so bad, guys. Those felons, they're not that, they're just like us. They're just like us. They just committed a violent crime and killed a guy, a lot of chuckleheads, a lot of funny guys. Okay, so Styx, when you went to jail, the answer that you gave the internet was a very simple one. Long story short, I was absent due to being in jail in New Orleans for a few weeks. Period. I don't want to talk about it publicly now. I hope you all understand. That's it. That's all you needed to say. You didn't need to go, I talked to a bunch of crazy people in jail. Isn't jail just great? That's weird. That's a weird answer, right? The right answer is to be like, listen, man, that's my private life. I'm going to keep it out of it, right? But being like, oh, look at all the funny people in jail is weird. I think this is the full thread of tweets, so I'll pull that up. Oh. Honestly, the criminals and, quote, criminals in name were way cooler and more chill than the jail staff. Whoa, going to jail was just like my spring break in Tijuana. Lots of crazy cool people down there in Mexico. You know, they're just like us down there. Really know how to party. Funny story, one dude brought weed into the room and he was like, he and like 5 others were smoking it. I was like, dude, the fuck? But the guards outside smelled it. He never returned to the room. Thought they were batshit. His lawyer advised him to not talk about the case, so he deflected. No, dude, when your lawyer says don't talk about the case, he means don't talk about your fun time in prison. I understand that they're like, excuse me, in jail. Jail and prison are 2 different things, guys. Oh my god. Another funny story, one of the things I saw in jail was a dude nonchalantly opening up a packet and snorting coke. When I have an embarrassing experience in my life, chat, I don't go around to the internet and say, I just had an embarrassing experience. I just had a harrowing experience. The experience was bad. I was terrified. I thought I was going to die. I don't go on the internet after it happens and say, oh, it was a little bit of a funny situation I was in. Like, you'll let Beckett publish that. That's true. That's true. I was thinking, I don't want to use myself, and I don't want to constantly talk about Nani, but this is like a great example. When Nani aired out my laundry, I tried not to go around and tell people my business. Okay? It is weird if you are a grown man, if you're anybody, not even a grown man, but since we're talking about men and all that shit, it's weird to do this. This is strange. Okay? No shame. Exactly. But yes, Styx talked about this. And you'd think that this would be enough. You'd think that this would be enough. But Styx also released a video. He released a video from a hotel room. Now, I wonder why Styx would be in a hotel room. It's almost like there's a protective order. So let's see what he has to talk about here. I protect my indentured servants. See you at work Monday. Jesus Christ. I love how it's always like, these are the kind of guys that watch Jeremy, and it's like a guy who's like 45, hat on, fucking sunglasses, like, you know he drives an F-150.
All right, everyone, talk about weird times. You probably were wondering where I was for an entire week. Actually, I was in jail. Don't worry, I'm going to have no problem with the charges. They're pretty spurious. But I do have some fun.
Guys, there's actually some video footage, by the way. And there's a good chance that body cam footage might be released soon. Ooh.
Stories with regards to that. Now, of course, I'm not going to talk about the specifics of the
I'm sorry, but like, people should pay me to do like crisis management for YouTubers, because these motherfuckers should not be talking, dude. You should shut up. Just cover the content like nothing happened. Okay? Like you do news, bro. Like you don't need to be like, I went to jail. Let's talk about the experience.
Case for legal reasons. And actually, it turns out that Jeremy, the quartering, was the one that posted my bond. So big shout out to him.
I'm sorry. Sticks. Every time I think of, oh, the Jeremy posted my bond for domestic abuse battery, it makes me close my eyes and think, oh man, firm handshake guy over here. Firm handshake guy with the Dr. Disrespect. What's going on, Jeremy? How's the wife? I mean, I know she's a pilot, so she's off somewhere else, but shoo, there's a fly in here. I left my door open because it's been warm.
I owe him a number of free live streams as a result of this. I just wanted to tell a little bit about the experience, though. You know, you get dragged off by the police, you get booked and all this bullshit, and then you go to jail. Not prison, it's just jail.
Yeah, so jail is like either for holding or up to a year.
Holding while they, you know, figure out sort of what's going on. Then you have to go and do a court date and, you know, give your testimony and stuff like that, and then they figure it out later. Here's my experience. Overall, there were some very unpleasant things about it, but then there were...
No, jail was a bad experience. You know, out of all the experiences I've had, I think bottom 5 is spending a night in a jail cell. You know, I think I've had some better nights. It ain't like that night in Boca Raton, I tell you.
Things about it that were surprisingly, like, easygoing. For instance, one of the first things that I saw when I arrived in the jail was actually a dude...
Okay, guys, let's remember that he was in New Orleans a week before going to jail. He made it a week before going to jail.
Snorting cocaine. He had a little white packet and he was like chopping it up with his fingers, and then he had like a little straw and he was snorting it. I'm like, what? How did you get it in here? Then I realized, oh shit, they don't really have any drug checking in here. It was an older dude too. It was like a dude in his 60s. And I thought that was...
He was in the jail cell and Nick Rakita was right next to him doing lines. Oh,
surreal. I'm like, that's the first time, by the way, that I've even seen cocaine, and it happens to be in a fucking jail holding cell. You know, but prior to, you know, getting your orange jumpsuit.
Jail is supposed to be short stay, but there are plenty of local laws / mandates, etc., that push it well past that. Yeah, that's true. I will say, with from what I've read about the New Orleans prison system, they're pretty fucking backed up. So they just kind of try and get people in and out because it's just like overflowing with people.
Doing shit like that. That was strange. Then at another point, let me talk about one unpleasant experience first. In the well, they're not really cells, but like little glassed off rooms that, you know, you get locked into at night. You know, you're sleeping like 12 people to a room, in a room that's way smaller than my bedroom at Justana, and unfortunately they have a shortage of blankets there, and so I slept on a bare floor for a week, like with no covering at all. I was lucky if I could get a little
oh no, is this the move? Is this the move, chat? Prison was just really bad, guys. You know, it's a really inhumane experience. I wish it would be better. I was cold at night. I was cold, and it was too bright, and it was just a bad experience. Interesting that you have decided to be with the team that does not want prison reform. Interesting.
Towel to use, fold it up and use as a pillow just for my head to keep that from hurting. I've got bruises on my arms and on my...
Yeah, can we get Jake Weddle in here? I think we need the Mr. Beast dog detective to determine whether or not this breaks the Geneva Convention. Is he an expert in that? No, I just want to hear his hot takes.
Legs as a result of this. It was almost unbearable, that part, because I tend to be an insomniac anyway, so that wasn't necessarily the most pleasant thing in the world. But at the same time, there was one hilarious incident, like on the 4th night or something, we had one person in the room, and I believe he was Hispanic, he went out, and he brought back some, I guess, friends of his. They weren't even sleeping in the room, and they started smoking weed in the room. Again, I was like, when I looked over, and I saw what they were doing, I could smell it, and I look over, and I see him smoking, and with his friends, and in the little, like, sectioned off, like, quasi-bathroom thing. I'm like, holy hell, what the fuck are you doing? I couldn't believe it. I'm like, why are you doing that in here? And they just kind of ignored me. Apparently this is normal sometimes. Then the guard outside smelled smoke, and so they went into the room, and the three of us that were in there at the time, of course, had to, get searched and everything like that. And of course, it wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. I was the only one that was cleared to actually come back in the room right away. They never came back, so I'm assuming that they got charged with some additional crime or something. I don't know if pot is legal in Louisiana. Not 100% sure. I'm still here in the New Orleans area, actually, as we speak. So it was a very interesting experience, but one thing that I noticed above all is that the actual, the people that are charged with crimes, they're the chill ones.
Guys, actually, the people charged are actually, really chill, Like, I can't fucking believe this, bro. This is an insane one to do right now. Yeah, the people in jail are actually kind of nice, Listen, man, I've met felons. There's lots of nice felons. I've also met felons that are definitely not the kind of people I'd want around me ever.
It's the people that are running the jail that are
Yeah, I wonder why the prison guards are fucking hocked up and pissed off all the time. It's probably because they have to deal with drunk assholes at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, I've seen way too many police body cam intake videos where there's some drunk fucking hooligan bitching and moaning in a Wisconsin holding cell for me to be like, yeah, I can't believe the police were mean to me. What? You expected them to give you a fucking reach around?
chill. Not all of them, but some of them. Also, the thing that Manson said back in an interview in the 70s about the...
Brother, you ain't beating any allegations if you're quoting Charles Manson. There is no world where you quote Charles Manson and this goes good.
Sound of prison being loud shouting and stuff like that. That's actually true. Everyone was shouting. If you expect a good night's sleep, it's going to be a long night for you. Now, again, I expect to beat these charges specifically.
He seems genuinely surprised about his experience.
If you expect a good night's sleep, it's going to be a long night for you. Now, again, I expect to beat these charges specifically. I don't think there'll be a problem with that, so no worries there. But that's why I was absent for a week. Yeah, I was in a jail in New Orleans, actually, and it was a very strange experience. I wouldn't say a pleasant one. Definitely an unpleasant experience for...
So he's expecting to beat the charges. I don't know about the legitimacy of that. This is still pretty early on in the case, so information is coming out about it right now, actually. For example, I believe the woman's name is Samantha, and Samantha had been making posts about it. I do believe he might have actually broken his order of protection with a video that I'll show in a second.
Someone who likes freedom of movement as much as me.
Freedom of movement. Do you know what the charges are? Domestic abuse, battery.
But honestly, on some levels, not quite as bad as I expected. Originally, I'm like, oh shit, I'm in jail. And then I was like, oh, well, the food fucking sucks. I didn't eat very much for that entire week, other than a few snacks. The jailhouse, the soup and grits and stuff like that. Mainly just I ate the vegetables and shit like that. I'm looking forward to a real meal now, actually. So I suggest you keep your nose clean. You don't want to have to eat that sort of
Keep your nose clean. What do you mean by that? That's kind of implying that, like, you know, you might have Freudian slipped, like that you might have not kept your nose clean. I thought you kept your nose clean.
stuff. And I saw people, they're like wolfing it down. I'm like, how can you even eat some of those?
Because they're fucking hungry, bro. Okay? Because there are people who go weeks and weeks and weeks without food and then have a psychotic break and commit a crime, and now they're in jail. That's why they're fucking horfing it down.
Some of that food. Although I do admit that the mashed potatoes that they made actually were kind of on point.
Dude, prison food review. My name is Running on Empty Food Review. And then it's like a big square of mashed potatoes, a biscuit, and like a steak that's just like a gray rectangle on a foam plate.
The one thing I noticed is that they don't use much salt in their food, actually. So yeah, that's why I was absent for a week. I was actually in a jail here in New Orleans, and you know, I shouldn't have had to go there in the first place, but
You shouldn't have had to go there in the first place. Listen, I understand it's an allegation, but let me have my fun chat. All right, I should have been able to go there in the first place. Well, you know, any self-respecting man should be able to put his wife in her place. Am I right, fellas? Oh my god. Holy shit.
it is what it is. You know, it's all good. That's about all. Peace out.
Brother. God damn, that's funny. That's really funny. I'm sorry, dude. So let's see. Is this on debate night? Yeah, so Styx gets drunk. And this is like, so Styx has a bit of a drinking habit, right? Which kind of lends credence to maybe something happened that evening, right? So I'll play this now.
Yes. I know you know your judo well.
Dude, this guy talks. This guy talks like he's like a fucking skinwalker. Like there's a fucking thin man XCOM alien living inside his body. Oh yes, you know your judo well. Is he Tistic? I didn't want to say that, but yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like.
By the way, this is my darling.
Oh my god, he did not just cop a feel, bro. Oh no, brother. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god. How are you doing, princess? It's time to wake up. Hold on. Let me find that video. Somebody posted it recently in a server I'm in. Find it. It's here somewhere. Fuck, I know it. I've seen it. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Struggling to get out of bed in the morning? Try this alarm I made. I promise you won't sleep in. Rise and shine, princess. It's time to start your day. Princess, wake up. Don't make daddy come and get you.
This is a woman he has allegedly abused before, by the way. Yeah. Did Cloudy give you that? Yes. Well, she posted it in a server.
Yes.
She did not want to have her boobas grabbed there, dude. That was not. There's like a time and a place. I would not on a live stream. That needs to be something like discussed prior. right? Like getting any kind of like touchy-feely while live in front of an audience is not the look.
Mm.
Oh my god, dude. Dude. Dude, read the room, dude. Holy shit. Oh my god, Reddit mod.
You done?
Now,
Oh god.
Okay.
only slightly.
Oh god. Ah, god. Oh man. God, that being the mother of his child is wild. Oh man.
Yes. Mm.
Okay.
Who is your co-host? Says Sir Link. This is my girlfriend. Mm.
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 Why is he so weird about it, bro? Just hold a hand, dude. Like, there's nothing. Like, I get PDA, but like, you don't like do that, dude. Oh my god, dude. Dude. Shit. It's like he's like doing that thing, like the kind of guy who's like, I've never gotten laid in my entire life, and now I finally got like a really pretty lady there, and she is really beautiful, right? But it's like, he's like really like coveting her, and it's like really fucking, it's really fucking creepy, right? It's like that object thing. It's like treating her like an object. It's like, I got to have sex with this. It's
Hi.
Yeah.
Your Honor. Charge this man as cringe.
Your Honor, this man needs more charges, please.
Hmm.
I never said that I was normal.
Oh man. That's rough. That's really bad. Oh god. I don't mind PDA, but this is just so dehumanizing. If you and your partner like that's not okay. Like that's something like if you do it with your partner and you're both cool with it, that's fine, but that's kind of like something that's either like, oh, I wouldn't mind if you like grab my tits in public, right? Like that's like a conversation you have in private. Like you do it in private first. Like your partner turns to you and they're like, you should be doing it like more often. Like honestly, I want people to know. You know, like that's something that needs to be discussed. But that's Your Honor, the jury requests prison for life. Let's see. There was a few. Was there any more images? Okay. So before I get into Jeremy and reintroduce Jeremy to this story, I'm going to go over some of the release information. Are you going to be going over the video she leaked? I'm actually doing that right now, Rina. Which, by the way, little guys, we need some more little guys to like update some of these threads. I don't think we have a Styx thread yet, but come on, join us. Get involved with the community so that we cover some more drama. Anyway, so these were posted in allegedly Samantha's video, right? And this would have broken Charles' agreement, right? This would have broken his order of protection, this conversation. Usually a text message like this was. And he says, why don't you just talk this out with me, Sam? I'm trying to be reasonable, and I know you care for me, but I will not survive another jailhouse rock. Which is a weird... I was just watching a show called Brand New Cherry Flavor, and there was a character that constantly spoke in metaphors, and he was like a creepy producer who like groped the main character. And the whole like speaking of metaphor thing is such an ick, dude. But he will not survive another jailhouse rock. At great hazard, I had sent you one last response to the message you left me in the room. I am not cheating and won't. I didn't mean to hit you with the phone. I will never find someone as great as you. I've commanded mom to let you stay at blank if needed. And yes, you may reside at blank. My lawyer will push for the charge to be dropped. And I hope to return soon. This is all my fault, and I will stay off alcohol for life. So yeah, it's again, like I said, there's a long documented evidence because Tarl Stixhammer has a long documented evidence of him drinking quite a lot on stream and getting really fucking drunk, which is very funny because Jeremy is also the same. And yeah, he also does talk very strangely. Yeah, I didn't mean to hit you with the phone. I just threw it in your general direction. Yeah, this is actually really bad for him. So the prosecution does have this video, by the way. So they do have this information. So this might have actually, he might have, by him talking to her and breaking the no contact, this might not be good for him. This might actually be pretty bad to have done this, right? All right, I've commanded. My lawyer will push for the charges to be dropped, and I hope to return soon. Maybe this is a mutually toxic relationship if that's the case. And he's like, please, I commanded mom is very weird. Yeah. I saw alcohol yesterday and felt only disgust for it and myself. This guy is not getting, this guy is not, bro, you need to go to AA. Okay. You need to go to AA. This is when a guy is talking like this. Okay. I saw alcohol yesterday and only felt disgust for it. Right. Well, one, if something happened, he's off-putting the responsibility of his behavior onto the alcohol, which is cringe. And you should admit responsibility yourself. It wasn't the alcohol that made you do it. It was you that made you do it. Two, when you're talking like that, that's a man not saying, I'm going to get help. I'm going to get better. That's a man going, I'm afraid to lose you. I don't want to lose you. I like having you in my life. See, I'm doing the thing that you would have wanted me not to want this. That's not him getting help. That's him pleading for her back. Okay, that's what he's doing. I humiliated my family, hazarded my work, and worst of all, now you aren't beside me. See, he's begging. He's begging for her to come back. I beg forgiveness. Dude, I'm sorry. He totally hit her. He totally hit her. This is like the guy who's fucking... like he's like love bombing after having a night of being like aggressive about it. I'll play the video. There's some audio. Yeah, this makes him look so guilty, dude. It's also really pathetic. I doubt you ever want me again, but if there's even a 1 in a million chance, what are you, fucking 12, bro? You're a grown ass man. Fucking dude, you're grown, dude. I'll go to distance. You can reply, but I dare not say anything further except I love you. God, this is Shakespearean 12th grade literature bullshit type of fucking message, bro. And I'll abide by the protection order. I will never deserve someone as perfect as you, and I'll feel guilt for this forever. What is this, your first girlfriend? You're like 35. You're like 40, dude. You're old as fuck. Why are you talking like that? Oh my god. Yeah, fair warning about this video. I have no idea where this came from. But yeah, that's Sam and Tarl. Dude, ugly man. Dude, his cock must look very gross. Sorry, that's what I thought when I say that. That just came out, guys. I'm sorry. My lady princess, I didn't mean to punch you, princess. You were simply standing in my direction as I was playing Wii Sports Bowling. Dude, the music in this is really strange. I don't know why this is here. Look! I don't know where this video came from. At the picture!
Now lay in it.
He sounds so special. He sounds so special. I'm sorry. Let me put up the volume. Yeah, so there's a picture of her bleeding from the nose, where it's like coming down her face.
I don't care if you're. As far as you. You've made your bed. Now lay in it. I don't care if you're crying. It makes no difference to me. You've treated me like absolute shit this entire time. I'm 1,000 miles away from my home with a person who apparently I can't trust at all as my guide. Do you know how that feels?
He sounds like an alien. He sounds like an alien. Oh my god. I am 1,000 miles away from home with you as my guide. This calm voice, he sounds psycho. He is autistic. He is not a mastermind. This is not Hannibal Lecter. This is Lenny.
You won't answer the question because, of course, the question invalidates your particular opinions. How lovely.
Dude, how lovely. You are literally the big, I want to call him a British cigarette, chat. He is a British cigarette. How lovely. Get your fedora and just go sit in a goon chamber, bro.
I'm so imperfect. I'm so terrible. And you're just wonderful. Everything about you is perfect and divine. With your tarot cards.
With your tarot cards, bro. This is with your tarot cards. Oh my god, this is a match made in hell. Oh my god. Bro's in a relationship with a young Baba Yaga telling fortunes. Meanwhile, he's out here making Faustian bargains with succubi, worshipping the occult from his libertarian hideout. Dude, it's did he hit her over a bad reading? I've read your palm. It says that you're going to become a right-wing grifter on the internet. And your best friend will be a guy who defended a pedophile. Yeah, so that's her. You can see that she's bleeding at her face. Guys, does this qualify for a URR yet? So, God, I mean, like, he's so unthreatening. Like, the only, like he's a guy, so he's gonna have like a size difference on this young lady, right? But like, if it was like a man-on-man conflict, and assuming that this guy, a libertarian, assuming he has guns, but like, dude, he would be easily put into the ground with his shape. He just is not a threatening guy at all. He's so unthreatening. All right. So speaking of really horrible crossover events, guys, he sounds like he only weighs 120 pounds soaking wet. Sir Autismo and his wife, Lady Baba Abuser. So, The Quartering is streaming with... Now, chat, I want you to sit down for this. Because he's streaming with the Melanie Mack. And if you don't know who Melanie Mack is, she is what I would consider a quote unquote Christian e-girl. She is involved in the culture war. And as a character, Melanie Mack's claim to fame is one, being an intellectual juggernaut. And I use that term derogatorily. She is an idiot. But also, Melanie Mack's biggest claim to fame is just calling people the F slur. That's it. Just calling people slurs. And she's like, well, I'm not, I don't care. I can say these things. This is America. Oh, shit. I think this is just about that part where...
Quartering.com/members.
It's right after this he starts talking about his homie, Styx.
It is the #1 best place to support us and the show, and we're trading the money for exclusive content and access directly to me. I really am asking for people to consider joining right now because it's extraordinarily important.
17 more for the goal today.
Yeah, the goal today is 7.
Oh my god, dude, has he got Melanie on the payroll for this? Dude, all the other grifters ain't making bread, so the Quartering has all hired them in his big pyramid scheme of grifting Andes, bro.
17 members, and by the way, starting next week, I'll give you guys a break. Like, I know we have basically the same core, 5,000 people, that 6,000 people. You can only hear it so much, but I am pushing it as hard as I can this week. The purpose is, as I've always been very transparent. I've told this, Melanie will agree. I talk the same behind the scenes as I do basically in the open. And
I don't believe that for a fucking second, bro. I don't believe that for a fucking second. You and I both know that you say more slurs behind the scenes. All right, because I know I do. Okay.
My plan is to make sure that I can keep my staff, both Melanie and Styx, paid if like the Rumble deal were to go away or something like that. So it's not just for me; it's for basically the show.
Yeah, Styx is his employee. Okay.
And so your support gets you access to the show, access to me directly. Maybe I'll bully Melanie into spending time in Discord. I know I can't get Styx to go in there. There's no way.
I could go in there. Yeah.
There you go.
Send me an invite. I'll give you my Discord
Oh no, Melanie, don't go in there.
name out.
No, Melanie's going into Discord. No, she's gonna become a Discord kitten.
All right, Melanie will be in the members only Discord.
I will.
There you go. So if you haven't joined yet, maybe the Discord doesn't appeal to you, and that's okay. The members only video should. I mean, you actually hear me say the word in our members only video yesterday.
That's true.
What was that word? What was that word? I feel like you said the other F word.
You did say it.
So yeah, if you want to support, the #1 place to go is quartering.com/members. You can join via PayPal or regular card. Now this was uploaded by Styx just a few minutes ago, so maybe you've seen it. It'll give you something to watch while you sign up to be a member. So I want to let Styx speak for himself, on
yes.
Dude, ain't no way this guy's about to react by not saying anything. He's just gonna let this video play uninterrupted for 6 minutes.
All right, everyone, talk about weird times. You probably were wondering where I was for an entire week. Actually, I was in. I do have some fun stories in regards to that. Now, of course, I'm not going to talk about the specifics of the case for legal reasons. And actually, it turns out that Jeremy, the Quartering.
Where do you guys think Styx is staying? Do you think he's in like a Holiday Inn? What's that light say to you? That says like a Hyatt, maybe. You know. I'm getting a Hyatt vibe. Maybe he's in an extended stay.
Was the one that posted my bond, so big shout out to him. I owe him a number of free live streams.
That's right.
I just wanted to tell a little bit about
3 months worth.
Okay, I'm sorry. The idea of Quartering needing to pay people to be on live stream with him might be the most insane thing ever. Okay? Not only would I never pay my homies to be on a live stream with me, the concept of that just is so fucking like unappealing, to pay someone a salary to sit there and go like, well, ain't that crazy? I mean, Shadiversity does it too, but it is quite literally the saddest thing ever. You're either interesting enough to carry a stream on your own, or you shouldn't be a streamer. Period. End of conversation.
Buddy.
Get dragged off by the police and get booked and all this bullshit. And then you go to jail. Not prison, it's just jail. Temporary holding while they, figure out sort of what's going on. Then you have to go and do a court date and give your testimony and stuff like that, and then they figure it out later. Here's my experience. Overall, there were some very unpleasant things about it, but then there were things about it that were surprisingly easygoing. For instance, one of the first things that I saw.
I'm gonna make more turtlenecks every show too. Yeah.
Was actually a dude snorting cocaine. He had a little white packet and he was like chopping it up with his fingers, and then he had like a little.
So they're just gonna yap occasionally but not say anything. Oh, I think he pauses it a little later.
talk about one unpleasant experience first. In the
Dude, I cannot fucking believe Jeremy's sitting at like 6K viewers. Is Rumble does Rumble genuinely have 6,000 users? Do they genuinely have 6,000 users? Because this is boring as fuck, Jeremy. This is boring. You're bad at this, just like everything else.
See, kind of.
keeping like 12 people to a
Like a
room,
dry snitch.
in a room that's way smaller than my bedroom at Justana, and unfortunately they have a shortage of blankets there, and so I slept on a bare floor for a week, like with no covering and all.
Dude, you cannot like. I know that they don't want to riff on their friend, but the fact that they're like their only reaction to I slept on the floor is like, ugh, like bro.
I was lucky if I could get a little towel to use, fold it up and use as a pillow just for my.
Nah. The open room kind of screams motel though. There's a door there to the bedroom though, right? It's like a tube space, right? Like maybe there's like a door on the other side of this, or maybe there's a door to the left of him, right?
My head to keep that from hurting. I've got bruises on my arms and on my legs as a
Well,
result
of course there's gonna be bruises on your arms. You're like fucking 80 pounds, bro. Put some fucking meat on your bones.
of this.
Dude, this is my second time watching this, and I have more to say than fucking Jeremy, bro. Bro is sitting there saying nothing. He has said absolutely nothing. Bro does nothing. This guy literally gets paid to do nothing, chat. Okay? I understand that I'm like a fucking streamer, and to be honest, now that I have a normal job, streaming quite literally is the easiest job in the world. Okay? But unironically, the fact that this guy is so boring and so untalented and so successful is the most insane thing in the world to me.
It was almost unbearable, that part, because I tend to be an insomniac anyway. So that wasn't necessarily the most pleasant thing in the world. But at the same
Right-wing
time,
grift is so profitable, it's crazy. Dude, it is. It is the most profitable grift. They're like, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. Dude. Oh my god. At least bread tubers have the audacity to make 4-hour-long videos about how Mr. Beast broke the Geneva Convention.
there was one hilarious incident, like on the fourth night or something. We had one person in the room, and I believe he was Hispanic, and he went out, and he.
I feel like Melanie Mack is in the race play, chat. Like, I feel like Melanie Mack, like, walks down the street and, like grabs her purse when the black people walk by. But I really think she's in the BBC. I go to bed, Diesel, no.
He brought back some, I guess, friends of his. They weren't even sleeping in the room. And they started smoking weed in the room.
Yeah.
Again,
Hey, bud, it's okay to keep those thoughts inside. No, well, like, I don't know. She just looks like it. You know, like, if I had to take a shot in the dark. What does mentioning that the guy was Latino have anything to do with this? There's like a TikTok I've seen where it's like your parents are telling a story and the parents like going through the story. Oh, and you know, he was super gay, but we were talking about pants. It's like, why'd you mention he was gay? Did he tell you he was gay? Does he have a boyfriend? No, he just looked it, honey.
I was like, when I looked over.
You're probably right, but keep it in. No, when I say something crazy, that'll make a great TikTok. Right, Greg? I don't even know if he's in chat.
I saw what they were doing. I could smell it, and I look over, and I see him smoking and with his friends.
I literally can't say the joke that I want to say about Melanie. It is so fucking funny, but I have to keep it in because I think it's too much.
And in the little, like, sectioned off, like, quasi bathroom thing, I'm like, holy hell, what the fuck are you doing? I couldn't believe it. I'm like, why are you doing that in here?
Interesting how the only people Jeremy hires are alcoholics and people who say slurs. By the way, Chad, ain't that interesting? Inside thoughts. I really see, the problem is I don't know if saying it is technically me saying a slur. So I think I could say it, but it might like not land. And if it doesn't land, then chat's gonna be like, "Whoa, Diesel said a slur."
And they just kind of ignored me. Apparently, this is normal sometimes. Then the guard outside
There ain't no way this guy spent 6 minutes watching his homie, bro.
cleared to actually come back in the room right away. They never came back.
They are quite literally getting paid to sit there and say nothing. Okay.
Narc! Narc!
Does he pause it a little later into this?
It was one day total.
I guess it's
a long night
There
for
we
you.
go.
Now, again, I expect to beat these charges specifically.
By the way, I suspect this does. I guess this doesn't give like any. My as I said yesterday.
Is he drunk? Is Jeremy drunk while streaming? Why does he keep slurring his words?
And as I learned after talking to law enforcement throughout the day yesterday, people in law enforcement, it's possible. Maybe he did do something terrible. Maybe he literally just was like the meme of the, pummeling his girlfriend type of thing. But in a lot of cases, I learned yesterday that when the police are called, someone goes to jail. In some cases, they have to take somebody away from the situation.
Yeah, to cool down the situation. Yeah.
Like for safe, that's like
Right.
a protocol thing. So I'm choosing to wait.
Okay, Jeremy, I hate when Jeremy does this. He never does things with his whole chest, right? Like, Jeremy can have, like, terrible opinions. I really don't care if he does. But the problem is that Jeremy doesn't commit, okay? And I can respect a guy who has insane batshit opinions but commits, right? But what Jeremy does is he can't have the balls to commit to it because he's so fucking worried about somebody not giving him money, okay? Because Jeremy's opinion is that Styx isn't guilty because he's his friend, right? Or he's like, oh, guys, we got to wait for all the evidence. We got to wait for all the evidence. But based on Jeremy's actions, he already knows what he thinks, but he's afraid to say it. He's done that before, and he always does that, right? Where he's like, I'm not racist, and he does like the two gay black dads joke or something like that. Just be like, sometimes I say some racist shit, and I think it's funny. It's funny to be racist sometimes. Right? Like, if he just said that, I wouldn't give a shit. But it's because he tries to have the cake and eat it too. That is like soy. It's like, bro, I respect the man more who's just upfront about it. Like you're fucking like a loser when you do it like that. It's like the Tim Pool fence sitting thing where it's just really cringe because like you can't commit to anything. Just commit.
Yeah.
On this, but yeah.
I didn't realize he was there for a week. I just thought it was one day total. My
no,
goodness.
it definitely wasn't a week. He was only
Oh.
there a couple days.
Okay.
Now it probably felt like a week.
Probably.
Because he was on my show Monday.
Oh, okay.
So he was only
Got it.
there a couple days. But I'll forgive it because it probably felt like forever.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a problem with that, so no worries there. But that's why I was absent for a week. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, John Wayne's Ghost says, my brother got arrested for domestic violence and he was the one that called the cops. Yeah, you never really know. Now, I'm not saying it's entirely possible that he did he punched some girl or something, but I think it's more likely that in some case, cops show up, maybe there was a fight, a loud argument or something like that.
If it's domestic, someone has to go to jail. The police can press charges and they decide who the primary aggressor is. Nothing worse than a coward scared of the consequences of his own opinions. That should be fucking written in a stone somewhere, okay? Because I have never seen it put that eloquently, okay? There truly is nothing worse than a coward scared of the consequences of his own opinions. That is so true.
Maybe alcohol.
Melanie really adds a lot to the conversation. Melanie adds nothing to any conversation ever, okay? Melanie has one bit, and it is be woman. Be right-wing woman. That's it. Which is fine, but like, sweetie, there are women who are better at this than you. Not to girl boss you, but there are. There are other right-wing women who are way better than this.
Involved. I don't know. But in many cases, when the cops show up, they take someone out, and it's almost always
When you call the cops, they take someone out. When you call the cops, they shoot you. Actually, sometimes, because it really depends. They take out that plastic card from Family Guy and determine. So if he was 2 shades south of the equator, they would have shot him.
the man. So, you know, I don't know. Jail does crazy things to your mind. Yeah, also remember the guy got out at like 3 a.m. today. Who knows how long it took him to get back to his hotel. He probably hasn't slept, you know, and filmed this video. He probably doesn't even know what day it is.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't even know what day it is. What, bro? He has a phone. Like, what is he, disabled? I mean, he is, but probably doesn't even know what day it is. He's not a vampire. He didn't come out of a crypt, despite his outfit. He really blends in, honestly, with the vibe of New Orleans.
A jail in New Orleans, actually, and it was a very strange experience. I wouldn't say a pleasant one. Definitely an unpleasant experience for someone who likes freedom of movement as much as me.
Freedom of movement. Dude, I hope we get like a sovereign citizen arc of Styx. I hope that this spiral continues. I want Styx to drink more. I want him to become the next Rakita. I need a new Rakita. I kind of missed the Rakita train. I don't want to miss this train. I wish nothing but bad things happen to this guy so I can keep talking about it. He's not interesting, but it's funny to riff about it.
But honestly, on some levels, not quite as bad as I expected. Originally, I'm like, oh shit, I'm in jail. And then I was like, oh, well, you know, the food fucking sucks. I didn't eat very much for that entire week, other than a few snacks. You know, the jailhouse the soup and grits and stuff like that. Ugh. Mainly.
Yeah, I can't go to jail. I can't stay on carnivore.
Yeah, you'd have to be. Yeah. Yeah, so it sounds like he's good.
To a real meal now, actually. Yeah. So I suggest you keep your nose clean. You don't want to have to eat that sort of stuff. And I saw people, they're like wolfing it down. I'm like, how can you even eat some of them?
Bro isn't strong enough to eat grits. Oh, she can't stay off carnivore? I thought she said she can't eat carnivore. But he didn't describe anything that was carnivore. Unless she's eating carnivore. Dude, carnivore people are the most insane motherfuckers. Okay? Like I hate, like, Liver King is like the guy who, like, the big guy who promotes it, right? But then there's this other guy who keeps eating like bull's testicles and at like a fucking Whole Foods, okay? And he's like explaining how it's gonna make his fucking sperm virile, and it's like I don't think that all the bull testicles in the world are gonna make it any less gay that you're putting balls in your mouth.
Some of that.
It's probably because
Joe Rogan had tried carnivore. He's not carnivore now, but they're like creators who their entire thing is like this one guy, I've watched him. He's like, in the morning I eat 10 raw eggs. It's like, bro, you wake up in the morning, you eat 10 raw eggs. That's fucking disgusting. Okay. It's not gay if you go straight to the source. Like, what is it? Like, you put a bull testicle in your mouth. Does it squirt like a grape? Is it like a grape? Is there like, you know, is it cream filled?
only meal they've gotten in a while. Yeah. Yes.
Although I do admit that the mashed.
It's like putting a cherry. It's like, you guys get 2 cherry tomatoes and put it in a sausage casing. Same experience.
Potatoes that they made actually were kind of on point.
Way to find the
one thing I
bright
noticed
side,
is that
buddy.
they don't use much salt in their food, actually.
Oh.
So yeah, that's why I was absent for a week.
All right. So it looks like he's
It's like when the dude running Gondor eats those tomatoes while the Hobbit is singing.
out. He put the video up on his channel. So I'm gonna let the legal system do their thing.
Yeah.
Bro, quartering. Just say that you think your friend's innocent, bro. Just say that, like, I trust that he's a good guy and he wouldn't beat no woman. All right? Just say that. Put your money on the table, okay? And be like, let's see where this goes. Come on. Bet it all on black, brother. Bet it all on black. Or red. You wouldn't bet it on black. For obvious reasons. But you'd bet it on red.
I strongly suspect there's alcohol involved, and
You strongly suspect. Well, you know, at least that's one thing coming from quartering that's right. But, you know, I guess you are a subject matter expert in alcoholism.
some stupid shit. Someone in chat, B Shopper says, yes, as a former prosecutor, the police take the faulty party away from the scene through an arrest, and we charge when we can prove guilt.
Do they really think she hit herself? What's their theory? You know what? I'm pretty sure I could come up with a really funny batshit theory. Like maybe it was like a MGTOW thing, you know, like, or maybe the left is after him. Like, didn't Rakita say, isn't it interesting that the state arrested me at this time? He was like trying to imply it was like a conspiracy against him.
Beyond a reasonable doubt. Yeah, so my guess is he was locked up, and he'll beat the charges. Good afternoon.
Stores near me sell things like pig's feet and cow tongues. I'd rather have that than pig's feet are like you can have pig's feet as like a dish in Puerto Rican culture. It's disgusting. I don't like it, but there are people who be eating that.
Me and Melanie contributing to the Melanie Bail Fund because we know she's a troublemaker. Yeah, I mean,
just preemptive, just like, okay, this is ahead of time.
Listen, I mean, I'm pretty sure that when you commit a hate crime, Melanie, you're still gonna get plenty of donos that'll get you out of jail. Don't you worry, sweetheart. I'm just assuming it's a hate crime, you know, like are we like, is it really gonna be anything else than a hate crime?
Yeah, I'll buy some.
Started.
Yeah, I'll he owes you $7,500 and he hasn't contacted you. I mean, it's been a few hours and he doesn't owe me that money. He only owes me that money if he doesn't show up for court. It's a zero interest loan given to a friend. Would you be interested in attempting to obtain the 911 call?
Just you wait, dude. Listen, I'm sure quartering is shaking in his boots to find out what the body cam footage and 911 call are like.
I'm assuming people have already done that.
Not yet. They haven't gotten them yet, but they will. It's gonna happen.
I mean, maybe privately. I wouldn't play it on stream though. Damn, Sticks snitching left and right. I was a CO for 5 years. People smoking wacky tobacco's commonplace in jail and prison. Oh, for sure. Sticks is a bit of a babe in the woods on a lot of that stuff you said about jail. Like people doing drugs in jail is extraordinarily common in the open. A lot of it is brought in. A lot of it is brought in by the guards. It's a whole economy. Prison guards aren't paid very much, and so they supplement their income bringing in contraband. It's extremely common. Ministry of Wrong things. So Sticks won't say it, but losing the relationship with his ex is having massive impact on him. She was his dream girl. I don't know anything about that.
You don't know anything about that? Bro was your homie? Dude, I'm sorry. That he must have been talking about that lady all the time, okay? What? He got like a pretty tarot reading, you know, psychedelic fucking punk chick to date his crusty ass. Bro, you know he was talking about her all the time. Okay.
One thing I'll say, as somebody who works with other people, I don't ask personal questions. I'm not grilling Melanie about her dating life off stream. I keep it professional.
I don't ask personal questions. Bro, you're friends with these people. That's why you hired them. Don't be stupid, dude. Okay? YouTube is completely a nepotism game. If you're going to act like, oh yeah, I brought them on for their, you know, political hot takes and professional opinions. No, bro, you brought them on because birds of a feather, okay? And you're homies, and you saw they weren't making bank like you were making bank. And you were like, here we go. Pool it together. Make some bread. Fuck it. Okay? Because that's how that works. I know how this business works. That's how that fucking works. All right? That's how I get jobs in this field, is because I'm homies with people. All right? Don't act like you don't know about their personal life, dude.
So I wouldn't know anything about his personal relationships. JR says Sticks just earned his N-word pass the old-fashioned way. Push-ups says,
you know what? I think he can say it. I think he can say it. Axis, I know you're black, and he's saying it. I know you're in chat.
I have a question where membership. Can I email you? Yes, you can. And then imitation gruel, yeah.
No.
Benjamin Dream Wizard says Mel would get arrested for protesting an abortion clinic, and we would gladly have you bail her out. Yeah,
That could be a
I would
thing.
bail her out. I don't even care what she did. Everybody gets one.
I would bail Mel out even if she killed a guy.
That's right.
Yeah, King of Biltong says Biltong is one of the most protein-dense foods in the world, packed with B12, zinc, iron, creatine, and more. Need a healthy, high-protein snack? Get yours at biltongusa.com.
Guys, go buy a tongue. What an insane ad read. Insane ad read. I want to know what that product is. Of course I can't, because it's not in the fucking comments.
Ordering 10 for 10% off. Yes, you should. I'm sure he'll be looking forward to some biltong when he gets home.
Yep.
Fred Muffin says preemptive money down on Melanie's bail. We all know.
Biltong? I need to know what that is, dude. I need to know what that is right now. Oh, biltong. What the fuck is that? Biltong. It's kind of like beef jerky. Ah, okay. Interesting. This just looks like beef jerky. That's what it is, chat. Just FYI.
Oh, she's a troublemaker. Yeah, that's true.
She's a troublemaking N-word? What?
Yeah. You can email me at the quarter.
Dude, it's like he's a right-wing tipster with those fucking buttons he's pressing, dude.
Email.com. Remember to provide me with the details of those people that joined who we need to send some gifts to. Oh yeah, Anton said up to 250 new members. I could pick 5 of them, and he will send them some free biltong.
Oh, yay!
So, yeah, that's very cool of him. I think so a last push for that. So if you enjoy the show and you want to support today, 20%
Dude,
off.
this is fucking Jesus Christ. He literally said nothing, guys. Guys, I want you to understand that this guy said fucking nothing, okay, for this entire fucking segment, and he advertised his shit twice, okay? I understand that I have, like, insert ads that run, but I make, like, 5 cents on those ads, okay? Like, 90% of my shit comes from donos, and not even I ask you guys to donate that much. I rarely do. You guys just give me money. Like, I don't...
So if you already buy coffee from me, it's basically free to join. Our goal for today is 18. We are now up to 5 out of 18, so 13 more to hit today's goal.
Let's do this. I will be.
He has 6,000 people watching, and he can't get 18 new members. We tell you to shill your coffee more. I haven't been paid for the coffee once, chat.
In the members only Discord.
Oh yeah, there you go. She'll be in the members only Discord.
I do shill it though. I don't care. I mean, it's my business, right?
That alone should
So
get 50 of you.
Let's meme on people.
Yeah.
Let's meme on people.
Did someone say Dono?
Thank you, name. That was your 10th super chat, by the way, because YouTube told me to celebrate that.
No Diesel, no, stop making me donate, please save me.
I'm sorry. It's required.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there you go, Vladimir. Thanks for the link. For those not joined yet, there you go. We have, yeah. We read it. I don't
Oh my god, dude. He literally, oh my god, it was literally just him advertising and then saying nothing. That's insane. I don't know what I expected from the quartering, dude. I don't know what I expected. Holy shit.
Rings of Power season.
You know I clicked on Shadowversity's channel. I had to go.
Medley Sage of Wind celebrates 11 months of membership. Diesel has gotten my adult money for almost a year.
Dude, this thumbnail is wild. urgent. Global free speech is under threat by the Australian government. If it was coming out of anybody else's mouth but that guy, I might pay attention more. Who's the other guy that I didn't hear about? I'm so interested in these like quartering homunculus guys. Okay, yeah. So this is this one really made me laugh. I saw this thumbnail from the Andy Pants Gaming guy. I don't know anything. Holy shit. You can ignore the T words in my comments section. Ever since I said they couldn't make it as a man, they've been big mad at me. I'm sorry. Like I get it. I'm political, right? And I guess these days I'd lean more left. But like it's just so cringe to be like I'm a Giga Chad. Like all that shit is like so like, bro, there's nothing Giga Chad about it, dude. Like just fucking own your shit. Like you don't need to make it like a big like soy like we got to stop the woke guys. Just make something that's not woke then. I don't like.
Today I want to talk about
I want to know about the pussification of games, chat.
great pussification of video games that has happened the past 20 years.
Guys, these Fortnite characters are dancing.
Is it a soy-based diet doing this? Is it
a soy-based diet doing this?
Rise of OnlyFans simping doing this? If you have recently had the thought, I wonder what new pumpkin-flavored items Trader Joe's has, be careful, my brother in Christ. You might be gay now.
What? Okie dokie. When I don't even know how to refute an argument like that.
But if there's one thing that is straight as hell, it's the rock solid video games of the 2000s.
There's nothing gayer than a man who needs to go out of his way to proclaim that he's straight. Okay? Like, I know I deliberately feed into it with the I'm not bi chat jokes, but like this makes you sound like the gayest motherfucker on planet Earth.
Your Gears of War, your Medals of Honor, your Chronicles of Riddick.
Chronicles of Riddick. Pure masculine rage. Listen, I'm sure there are plenty of quotes from a Greek philosopher explaining why masculine rage is like a weakness. Okay? Like a man should be able to be intellectual and calm and still be able to have violence when needed. Okay? The violence should be calculated so that way you win, because someone who goes swinging wildly loses.
These games were masculine as hell, and we want them back, and we're boycotting video games until they come back. I recently saw this disappointing photo of Phil Spencer being pushed out of the photo.
Gay communist. You know that guy who does the straight line things on TikTok, or not on TikTok, on Twitter, to determine who's like, you know, standing alpha?
By two domineering girl bosses who are probably unfulfilled because they're...
I don't understand. It's just Phil Spencer's posing with two other people. They're not, like, he's not being pushed out of a photo. He's not, like, in the corner of it. He's just, like, in the photo. All right? And they're in ascending height order. Right? Like that.
Pushed out of the photo by two domineering girl bosses who are probably unfulfilled because they're trying to succeed in the corporate world. Instead,
what are you saying? That is insane, dude.
Instead of having children at home like God designed them to.
This guy is nuts. This guy is nuts, chat. Holy shit. This is nuts. Oh my god. What's again, the same Disco Elysium quote about like the first racist was pretty good, the second one was better, but the third one, now that's gonna be the really great racist.
And don't you love Phil's cute little Doom shirt? Like, hey guys, I'm still one of the bros, right? Look.
Dude, that's a Doom to Dark Ages shirt. That's a game that they're promoting. People are going to hate this comment.
Look, like, we can still hang, right? Nah, Phil, you're trash. You got cucked, dude. You're useless. So I have found that
Isn't he the CEO of a company? He quite literally is the man in the big chair. I don't think he can be cucked. He's like in charge.
there are still people out there who deny the simple fact that games have gone woke, homo, and gay.
The games have gone woke, homo, and gay. I don't. Okay, like I can play a game with a female lead. I don't get like, bothered by it. I don't think games have even got like feminized or pussified or whatever. I think they've gotten overly monetized and turned into like perpetual marketing vehicles and perpetual like treadmills to make constant money off of people. But I don't think any of that is based around pussification or whatever the fuck. They've been slopified, not wokeified.
2024. So in this video, I'm going to literally prove it to you using science.
Diesel, you come up a second when you look up Andy Pans Gaming. I posted a screenshot in Trauma Talk.
What we will do is read the back of the box description of 6 random games from 2024, and then we will read the back of the box descriptions of 6 random games from the 2000s.
Why do
and if what
come
I'm
up
saying
second?
is true, we should notice a feminization, a pussification, a gayification. We should notice a
What okay, so 2000s, these are like humongous games. Okay, first of all, okay, guys, this is not satire, is really astounding, because Ride to Hell Retribution is a famous unfinished flop of the 2000s. Okay, what is manly about a guy that Ride to Hell is horrible, dude? What are you talking about? I don't even know what Dark Sector is, whatever. Modern Warfare 2 and Deus Ex Human Revolution are great. I'll admit that. But I literally don't know a single one of these games here. He literally cherry-picked gay-looking games.
feminization, a pussification, a gayification of video games that has happened the past 20 years. And before you bring up that video games don't have boxes anymore in 2024, calm your tits.
What does that have to do with any of the things that you just mentioned?
You know what I mean. So
that's like not even an argument. And that is literally a small indie game that not even woke people liked. Because I remember that. Like, the developers made an apology because they didn't stick the landing on their representation. Which, by the way, that's an indie game with a target market specifically aimed at a specific group of people. And it missed the target market as well. So not only is this a cherry pick, this is a cherry pick that not even the woke community liked.
To find 6 modern games, I didn't have to look very far. I literally just went to the front page of Xbox Game Pass and found these games.
Neon White is so fucking based and fucking cool. Are you kidding me? That's not one. It's also not woke too. Okay, because there's some hot fucking waifus in that game. All right, but what are you talking about?
This is clearly what Phil and his team of homos actually expects us.
Dude, you actually might have. This is a conspiracy theorist. This guy is not only beyond saving. This guy's nuts. Dude, I need to watch this Ackman debate, dude. I'd been avoiding this because I was like, I don't care. But this is absolutely the most wild shit I've ever heard.
Men to play. Here they are.
He actually did cherry pick 100%.
Clearly what Phil and his team of homos actually expects us men to play. Here they are.
Game Pass is targeted at like a large group of people, so not everything on Game Pass is meant for men to play. And again, these are all like okay, these are all like either aimed at, like, some of these look like they're aimed at children. There's like family games on Xbox Game Pass, you fucking idiot.
Creatures of Ava, Dungeons of Hinterberg, Flintlock Siege of Dawn, Flock, Magical Delicacy, and Chia.
Like that screams like this is like a cooking homey game, and this screams this is like an adventure game for children.
Now you might say, oh, Andrew, you're specifically picking out games aimed at children. No, dude, I'm literally just going to the front page of Game Pass, and these are 6 games featured on the front page.
That's literally not what's there. Am I like insane? Why didn't he get like a screenshot that accurately represents his opinion and point?
Of Game Pass. Also, side note, isn't it weird that these pedo developers are always making games aimed at kids? But
Wait, you're like, didn't you just say that they're not aimed at kids, and now you're saying why are they making games aimed at kids? It's like it's one or the other.
But that's a whole other thing I'm not going to get into right now. All right, so what games from the 2000s should we compare these with? These are 6 kind of random games that I just happened to pull off the shelf without thinking too much about it. They are.
You did not randomly. You, dude, Ride to Hell being there has to be a joke. Dude, Ride to Hell must be a joke.
Are Brothers in Arms, Road to Hill 30, Ride to Hell Retribution.
Dude, the subtext of Deus Ex goes over this guy's head, like whoosh, completely. And I should mention these. Okay, so Deus Ex, Brothers in Arms, Riddick, and Modern Warfare 2. I don't know about these two, right? But these are all made by big studios. These were all big budget releases in the early 2000s. Okay? And he's comparing that against indie games. That is literally like comparing things that should not be compared. You're comparing things in different market segments. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Oh, it's an Operate. What up, Bob Blanc?
Modern Warfare 2, Dark Sector, Deus Ex Human Revolution, Chronicles of Riddick, Assault on Dark Athena. And again, all I'm going to do here is read the descriptions and we will compare. 2024, Creatures of Ava. Let your empathy guide you as you play an exciting action-adventure creature saver game. Understand and tame the creatures of Ava and let them lead you through a variety of ecosystems, all in the hopes of saving the planet from a life-consuming infection. I also found...
Okay. This is like a non-violent creature collector. And... Again, clearly aimed at a younger demographic.
Found out that the 2 main characters of this game are, of course, homosexual black women because...
Oh. Listen, buddy, you and I both know that you wouldn't be cool with it even if it was just a fucking straight black lady.
2024. Let your empathy guide you? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, empathy is a very masculine thing to have. The ability to be kind for others is a beautiful thing. There's this really manly guy called Jesus Christ who taught us the golden rule. He actually died for our sins. That's how much empathy he has for us.
I don't play video.
Guys, I'm not even religious. Like that. Like I don't even like. I can't believe how bad. Like this guy is actually like just a piece of shit.
Video games to let my empathy guide me in. Ooh, I want to be gay and collect creatures and.
Yeah, I mean, like collecting creatures is like fun. There's like Pal World and shit and Pokemon. And Pokemon, despite all the battling, has always taught like why caring about your animals is important. It's why Team Rocket are the bad guys.
Like this game just sounds retarded, let's be honest. So now let's compare this with a game from 20 years ago. 2005.
Again, those are like what he is literally actually comparing things that have nothing in common, dude.
Brothers in Arms, Road to Hill 30. The back of the box says this. They would sacrifice everything except each other.
Yeah, because the theme of Brothers in Arms is about the companionship of a unit of soldiers in World War II. Yeah, they're different games for different groups of people.
Like, damn, dude, just grabs you by the balls. Like that.
Yeah, it's just your homie grabbing your balls.
That is the back of a box. I'm like, okay, I'm interested now.
This guy is like actually he is not only is he intellectually dishonest, but he's like really stupid. Like he actually is really stupid. This guy is really stupid.
That is a dope intro for a back of the box. It goes on, the night before D-Day, 1944, the paratroopers of the 101st Airborne Division are dropped into Normandy and scattered behind enemy lines. As Sergeant Matt Baker, lead your squad through 8 harrowing days that will define history and unite you forever as brothers in arms. Like, bro, like the balls of these games description. I have to go play this game now. See, this is what's honestly missing from the 2024 home.
Dude, something I've realized is that like I know there's like constantly memes about it on social media about like womp womp, media literacy is bad now. Media literacy is bad now. I let me elaborate on that take because I think people don't understand what they're saying when they even say that, right? We have social media now, and like even in a minute, you got to convey an idea, right? You have 250 word characters to convey an idea, maybe a little more on Twitter, but people don't click read more. You have that small space to convey a whole idea, and then somebody needs to read that back. But the way the internet has primed us is like, okay, and this is something that happened in the early 2000s, right? The way we were teaching reading was like speed reading. You got rewarded as a child for reading more quickly, right? So it didn't teach you to interpret the words. It taught you to synthesize the words quickly so you could move up a level in like a reading competition, right? So you have that, and you have social media, and it instills a lot of really bad values in how we listen to things, right? Or how we focus on things. And I think that started to have a knock-on effect where people take like really surface level analysis and they're like, that's the full thing. When it's not, because you could spend a long time looking at many things. Why would you even think of wanting to do it that way? It was actually part of teaching curriculum at a certain time. To do it that way, like the way that reading was taught changed. And it's changed again because we've realized, oh, media literacy is going down in students. I'll need to find a video, but actually I'll pull it up. I thought it was really interesting, and then I was like experiencing it in the classroom, and I'm like, uh-oh, yeah, I think there is a problem with reading literacy. Like there actually is a problem with how people are reading and getting through things. And it's not just like one type of person, it is everybody. Like the education system made a mistake. Hold on. I think I saved this in one of my like playlists.
Hey Thor, you have answered this question a million times, but...
Oh, that was a thing. Oops, schools didn't teach kids to read. Yep.
There were videos.
Hold on. I know we were watching this like doo-doo ass video, but this might be a better thing to look at right now because I'm having trouble conveying my point because it's pretty late in the evening.
There were videos about kids misbehaving in schools and having very short attention spans. There were videos by ballerina teachers who were shocked that their little girls just wanted to twerk in their ballet class all day. And then the situation...
And I get it, like, you know, yada yada r/teachers, but then also in the same respect, it's like it was something that I was like, huh, let me see how this operates in the class.
Situation got worse and more sinister. Suddenly, teachers and school administrators were coming out to say that the kids in their classes were actually illiterate. They didn't know how to read, and they were continually being graduated to higher and higher classes to be someone else's problem.
The instruction in schools, mainly about sight words and not phonics, is the issue.
So this is like, they're talking about like sight words and phonics. So it's like they're teaching you to look at certain words and structures of words rather than the sentence as a whole.
Strategies like 3Qing, where kids are taught to pay attention to the first and last letter, the context, and the picture. before they even try to sound out the word. And the idea of this is that, like, if we show you the same book and the same words repeatedly, you'll like pick up on it as a way to reading. And that's similar to how we like humans learn to speak. Like if you hear the same words enough time, you'll like figure out what it means. The issue is that that's not how our brains work. What this means is that speech comes naturally to humans, but reading does not. We have to like introduce new neural pathways so that we can learn how to read.
How did it become mainstream to memorize words by sight and use context clues and guessing strategies to
so
understand?
What they would do, and they'd teach you this, right? Because I grew up learning to read like this, right? I'm part of that generation, and it continued on to the next for a little bit, right? And what they do is they show you a bunch of words, and you're supposed to like confirm context based on the other things comparatively there, right? And then when you're like, oh, if you read this many books, you'll go up a reading level and you'll be rewarded, right? So what you would do is you learn those few words, you speed through the book so that way you could answer the questions, because the questions would just ask you stuff that happened in the book. It wouldn't ask you to explain the context. It would ask you to repeat what was in there, right? So instead of teaching you how to discern meaning, it was teaching you how to get through it quickly. A huge thing in other languages teach you is that English doesn't, is how a language is constructed. Like in English, if you know the language of origin, you can learn the rules better and teach.
And what is
Yeah,
happening
the AR test is a great example, Cosmic.
in the passage. We do know that books transition from picture books to books without pictures at some point, right? And thousands of educators went along with this because this was just the latest newfangled teaching approach that let young students, to clarify, outperform in early examinations.
It was great because like the way exams were structured, they would ask you questions not about context, but about construction of like a book, right? So not to understand meaning. Yeah. Well, I guess the answer would be, to use the correct terms, it would be to understand what's happening rather than what it means.
Article is a good summary. The decades-long travesty that made millions of Americans distrust their kids' schools. Columbia University's Teachers College announced last month that it is...
I don't even know like what the answer would be as like somebody now, right? Like if you have a kid now, it's like you kind of need you need to teach them how to read and how to read in an efficient way, but then you also need to sit down with them and ask them questions. What does this mean? Right? What do you mean by, like, what is the meaning behind this? Can you understand what he's saying there when he says those feelings?
Shuttering its once famous, in some circles now infamous, reading organization founded by education guru and entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a great word for Lucy Calkins because of the amount of money she made off of this enterprise. As many as 1 in 4 U.S. elementary schools used Calkins' signature curriculum. A growing chorus of cognitive scientists, learning experts, and parents, Amplified, argued that the Calkins approach was ineffective at best, actively harmful at worst, and a large part of why more than half of our country's fourth graders aren't demonstrating proficiency on reading exams. We really don't have to learn about how bad this method
You're
is.
teaching
I've kind
us
of
right
already
now, Mr.
glimpsed
Diesel.
to you the ideas such as guessing strategies and memorizing sight words that will let you read the thing faster. But if you're wondering how bad it was, this creator had an interesting video side-by-side comparison on what the differences are.
Okay, let's compare balanced literacy and structured literacy. This is not an all-inclusive list, but I included some of the main things that I used to do and now that I no longer do or have replaced them with since learning about the science and evidence of how we learn to read. In a balanced literacy classroom, you're likely to see a word wall, which typically has high frequency words organized by the first letter. In a structured literacy classroom, you're going to see a sound wall, which teaches kids the 44 sounds in the English language. Balanced literacy typically uses these leveled readers, like when you're told that your child's reading at
So we would have like literally a scoreboard for leveled reading. Right? And you could see everybody in the class, right? Because I went to a Catholic school, right? So it was like a method to make people do better, right? And you would move up or down like a reading leaderboard the more you read.
a level G, but you don't really know what that means. And a structured literacy classroom will have early readers, especially using decodable text. And then we have memorizing words, but this is not an effective way for kids to learn to read. So in a structured literacy classroom, you'll see kids mapping words. Guessing strategies here, I'm talking about when we ask kids to use the first letter and or the picture in order to read a word. In a structured literacy classroom, you will see kids learning decoding skills and using the features of the word in order to read the word.
It's essentially cheating. It's essentially a cheat sheet. If you don't want to listen to a child stutter over v-v-e-e-t-t, vet, and they say like peanut butter, and that's a very painful.
Did you get Pizza Hut coupons for reading? That was a weird incentive that was at my school. Yes. Yes. We would get Pizza Hut coupons or other similar types of rewards like that.
To do for 2 years
Yo, Mr. Diesel, can I go to the bathroom and take a dump? Yeah, make sure to take the bathroom pass with you.
of your life. What you can do instead is just give them words on a wall and tell them that that word says vet. When you see that word, that's what it says. It's teaching to the test, and these kids were excelling on.
Yeah, it's like this is like a problem of like the standardized testing system, right? In order to ensure like proficiency in education here in America, I don't know what it's like in Europe, but in order to ensure that the schools are teaching to a quote unquote proficient level, we have standardized tests that the government produces, right? And everybody has to take those tests, and then the school's rated on those tests, right? And schools obviously want to get funding, so good performance is rewarded. So what they do is they teach you to the test, right? So you ended up not retaining that information. And there's a lot of people now, grown adults in the working world, that struggle with words that are like 6 syllables or like high level reading. Like if you're someone right now who says, I don't like reading, I guarantee that you had one of those leveled readings as a kid. Guarantee.
Early literacy exams, only to have when they joined upper classes to start failing in reading. It's like when you
like the way that they were teaching reading built up this like negative reinforcement for a lot of young readers that they ended up dropping it in their 20s. And I cannot even begin to tell you how important it is for you to read. Otherwise, you'll end up like Andy Pants Gaming, which it's a weird way to turn it around to this, but I honestly think he actually struggles with understanding context, because you could easily make the context that Band of Brothers has homoerotic undertones. Anybody who's seen the HBO show can tell you that. Okay? A lot of those things can easily be tied to that.
Come back from the test and you're supposed to relearn the content because it was important, except in this case it's like literally a life skill that you need for like to be successful in any career and to be an informed
You have
voter.
to use your brain like a muscle. That's part of the reason I went to go get a day job, guys, because I felt like it was weird. I felt like my brain was atrophying, right? I wasn't challenging myself. Streaming's great. I love streaming. I really do. But I wasn't challenging myself. And because I wasn't challenging myself, other things in my life were starting to get worse because I wasn't practicing brain skills. I wasn't exploring like the ability to push myself mentally.
I'm sure that's not a debate that we're currently having. So there are a bunch of teachers who now make TikToks who say that they previously taught this kind of curriculum and now they no longer do, or they kind of espouse why this curriculum is messed up. So the new method, which is actually like the old method, which is actually phonics, the new method is called science of learning, which is hilarious. You'd think the previous strategy was based on science too. This teacher says, I always thought that I was really good at teaching reading. I had leveled libraries, a beautiful word wall, that's for those memorizing words, and always came up with super fun ways to memorize sight words. My kids always made gains in reading levels, but what happened after they left me? The headline of this article is that 33% of 4th graders are at or above the proficiency in reading, lower compared to 20.
And if you're going into middle school and your reading level is low, by then the school is expecting you to know how to read. So you end up with people in high school struggling with their reading. And that's really scary because the things that you're learning, the books that you're reading in high school are going to get a lot more complicated, right? So like everybody would, these jokes would come up a lot. They're like, why is the teacher asking me why the curtains are blue in this story? Like, maybe the curtains were just blue. Have you ever heard that? I know we've all heard that, right? The purpose of asking why the stream dying, it should be fine. Just reload it. It's all good. right? The purpose of asking why the curtains are blue is not for you to like read the author's mind. It's the teacher is challenging you to figure out the meaning of what that means, right? So it's not like the curtains are blue because maybe that's what the author wanted. No. They're asking you that because what did the curtains mean in the context of the story? What is the meaning? And that's what a lot of students struggle with.
33% is like 1/3. It looked like they were reading, but I realized I didn't give them the foundational skills they needed. And even for those who are literate, 54% of adults have literacy below the 6th grade reading level. 31% of 8th graders are at or above the same proficiency levels in reading, again, lower compared to 2019. So I started researching and looking for some trainings, she says. I learned the most popular curriculums were missing key foundational skills. I knew I couldn't be the only teacher who didn't know. Now, this lady's whole platform is now about teaching reading and helping people acquire the right skills to teach their kids properly.
Yeah, I hate the blue curtains meme. I hate the blue curtains meme. Because, like, okay, like I get it. Haha, Diesel into art school, right? Literally nothing is done without intention in art. Even the worst, well, maybe if it's like bad art, but like generally if you're watching something on Netflix or watching a movie or reading a book that's in Barnes & Noble, it was done with intention, right? So again, I'm going to use the show I just watched, Brand New Cherry Flavor, because it's right on my mind. It's a show about this young lady who goes to Hollywood and she sells her movie and then it becomes a revenge story. But the inciting incident is her selling her movie to a producer who's washed up, right? And the way that it's shot is that it frames them close, right? It frames them close at two sides of a table, so they're opposed from each other, but it's close. It's a closed-in space, right? The curtains are blue meme would be maybe they just wanted to film it like that. But later, right? There's a scene where the producer, and this is a trope, right? So it's easy to clock it, right? But the trope is that the sleazy producer comes on to the young artist, right? And he puts his hand on her thigh, right? So putting it close is putting subtext in your mind that there's some romantic like tension, right? But the way that it's shot also tells you in your mind these two are adversarial, right? They're not on the same page. They're against each other. But the thing is that a lot of people don't figure that out or understand things like that. And they were roommates.
Obviously, if you are a teacher and you get a curricular dumped on your desk telling you that this is the newfangled approach to teach reading, and suddenly your kids are excelling in their exams, that might impact your pay, your school's ranking, your teacher ranking.
You're
there
required
are
to teach it a certain way
to
because
teach
there's
to
an
the test,
incentive.
and that is the fault of the administration and policymakers. It would be immensely difficult to question these methods if your kids are outperforming all of their exams, even if it seems counterintuitive. We rely on experts.
I think another thing is that parents offload teaching children to just the school, right? You're an educator as well as a parent. You need to be sitting down and exploring knowledge with your kids and exploring different things with your kids.
For that purpose to believe them as experts and follow their decisions, and all the teachers are practical. The teacher's job is not to define the most effective curriculum for K through 8. Their job is to relay that knowledge into that of the child, and their job is to solve the behavioral issues in the classroom. But this whole situation is also a reminder for the remainder of us of how much our gut is a very powerful tool. Our common sense is a very powerful tool. Too many decisions are based on theories and assumptions alone, and we are gambling with something too high stakes for that kind of thing. Stay on it, my friends, and see you in the next one.
But yeah, this lady's not even like a YouTuber. She has like 2K subs, and she cooked with this video. It was very good. Very, very good video. Really fuck with it. Dude, fucking... God, I'm so fucking worried. Because I'll experience... I didn't experience how literacy was like getting worse until recently. And then I look at social media and I'm like, oh, people are kind of just like reading the first few words of my sentence and then not reading the rest. You know, it's not good. If you're an adult and your parent is asking you about the homophones, that's only 2K. Okay, relax. But yeah, if you're like an adult now and you have like the ability to go out and practice your brain, go like read a book. Unironically, reading a book is probably one of the easiest ways you can work on that skill. It might be really hard at first, but it'll get easier and easier. Also, people believing the protagonist of Dune was a hero made me worried. You know what I find really interesting? Remember a few months ago, we were talking on stream how people thought the government in Starship Troopers were the good guys, or that the Helldivers were like morally correct, right? And that was like one of those insane things that it's just like, dude, I've been reading books, bro. Good job, Matt. You're winning. You get an A on the test. Any recommendations for reading material? It depends on your reading level. If you're someone who doesn't like fiction, start by reading a nonfiction book you're interested in, right? And then like move out from there. If you like fiction, read fiction. Don't force yourself into a certain like position. Just read what looks interesting to you. But that shit happens all the fucking Starship Troopers is satire is so on the nose. You think a moron could get it, but nope. I think Paul Verhoeven has a quote about, I'm going to make a satire so on the nose it would infuriate people who understood it from those who don't. Right? But yeah, this, like, unironically, I hate to give such a simple answer, but like, actually don't feel like forced to read something that's like an adult book. Don't feel forced to read something because that's what you should read at your age. Just read what looks interesting. This expands into comics as well. Yeah, comics as well, but probably a wordier one, or one that is like not like a, you know, a weekly, like a graphic novel, like a Watchmen, over something like a current Marvel storyline. But definitely try and get away from comics, because your mind's eye will improve when you read just words. But anyway, I think I'll do an Andy Pants stream like later. I'll save the rest of that video because it's getting late. But I am going to get out of here, chat. Take care, be well, and I guess read a book.